Today we're going to take a look at taming the noise from an inverter generator. Stick around. Welcome to yet another ham radio video. This is JKQ4DUX, and we're talking about inverter generators today. So some of you may recall I made a short video one time about salvaging a battery from my solar generator which had died on me. So I used to carry that around in the van. I used it some for work, not a whole lot for radio purposes, but maybe a time or two it came in handy. But after that experience, that generator was a couple $1,000s, and I do still have the solar panel and the battery, but I was thinking if I would have just bought a gas one, I'd probably still be running today. So that's what I've done to replace it. Don't really want to be going through hurricane season with no source of power, so that's one of the main considerations. Like I said, I will use it for work as well. But one of my other thoughts was, what about using it with radio? Now, one of the things about inverter generators, they are known to be more RFI producing different types of interference than the standard generator. So we won't get into all of that, but the fact of the matter is, yes, it does produce quite a bit of RF. The first time I hooked it up, I ran a little air conditioner in the van here, just trying it out to see, you know, well, if there was an emergency situation and I had to go somewhere remote and it was very hot or whatever. And it was S9 plus noise level by just plugging a cord in and going. So that was disappointing, but I kind of figured that might happen. So I started seeing what I could do to reduce or maybe eliminate, but at least get it down to a reasonable level. So what I found that worked reasonably well was just taking a standard cord and adding these ferrites. Now I had bought a box of these just for some project purposes, and I used one or two of them. But I have 7 of them here, so I also bought this power strip, which is a pretty heavy gauge outdoor rated power strip. I got this at Harbor Freight as well as the generator. So what I thought was going to happen was just take this off, unscrew the wires and slip them on, but lo and behold, they are actually soldered. All of these wires are soldered, so I guess that's a good thing for maybe longevity. But I'm going to have to cut the end and put something like this on. So this is about the heaviest duty one that I could find here locally, which is pretty much what this one is. And this one has held up for a long time. I've had this cord for a while and had no problems with that, so I'm pretty comfortable. You know, I hate to cut a brand new cord, but I think this will work fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up my radio. I'm going to set up for 20 meters with the 17-foot whip. I'm just going to do a baseline, nothing running, noise level, which should be very low to nothing. I'm going to crank the generator with nothing connected to it, see what that looks like. Then I'm going to plug in a bare cord, and then we'll witness, you know, the interference that comes. And then what I'm planning to do is I'm going to start with maybe like 3 of these. I don't want to use them all if I don't have to, because I might use them for something else. And if I have to use all 7, I will. But let's try it out and see what happens. Okay, I have the rig set up. So like I said, 17-foot whip mounted on the van. I've got a station here on SSB. As you can see, it's pretty quiet. You know, I can hear those light stations that are not even on the S meter. So I'm gonna go crank this generator with nothing hooked up and see what it sounds like then.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches amigos, 59, mi nombre
Okay, so the generator is running, still not bad with nothing hooked up, but let's plug in one of the cords, that yellow cord with the power strip, and see what it sounds like.
Papa Tango 2, Papa Tango 2, coming in. Yeah, Papa Tango 2, Alpha Echo, obrigado, 59, you are 5 and 9, my name is Big November, this is 047. Thank you so much. 73 is still nice. Afternoon and evening in Brazil.
Alright, now it's plugged in. And then we'll put a load on it. Alright, I don't know if you can hear that now. I've got that cord off the ground. And now I just kicked on the AC. I've got a little portable AC here. So we're looking at, yeah, close to 5.9. I'm just gonna even go to CW and listen to what we got there. So right now, maybe 5.5. Let me open, we're 5.9 plus. Filters take a little bit out of it, but still pretty loud. All right, let me shut off the AC. See if we get, still pretty loud. I'll unplug the cord. And that took it down quite a bit. So as you can see, the generator itself isn't terrible, but once you get a cord hooked up, definitely makes some noise. So let's put on 3 and we'll give that a shot. All right, so I've got 3 of them on here now, and I've got a little bit of tape just holding them as close. I want to get them as close as I can to reduce. The longer that you would let it out, basically what's not being choked would probably be making it worse. So let's crank it up and see how 3 of them looks. There we go. All right. Seems like it kind of comes and goes a little bit. About a 5.5 there. So let's add a couple more and see how that goes. Alright, so now I have 5 beads on there. I went from around a 5.5 noise level down to flashing between 1 and 2. Let's see if I can get maybe stations in. Now you can hear that noise in there, but with this is my number 2 filter, so my setting 1 is really nothing, it's completely open. Setting 2 is the first filter. This is 3, and you see the number there, that's the width of the filter. So so that's, I mean, It's livable, but you might miss out on some weak signals. Let's go up to sideband, see how it sounds. You can hear it there, it's not pleasant. You probably could communicate. It'd really be nice to get rid of that. And this K2 does not have the noise blanker feature. Some of them do, and maybe that would help too. This is the station we heard at first. So here we are. I put on 7, all the ones that I have, which is nice and quiet now with the cord hooked up. But once I kick on this AC unit, it really picks up. Let her kick on here. Okay, I don't know if you can hear that now. Not too far. And there are spots in the van that are worse than others, which is pretty typical. So it didn't eliminate all of it, but let's see what else we can do. Alright, so now I've removed the whip from the top of my van. I put on another 25 feet of coax. So I've got it set up on a POTA Performer about 25-30 feet away from the van. And I'm pointing the radios away, so if there is front to back, we're pointing away from the direction of the noise. So here's open. Okay, let's go up to sideband, see what it sounds like up there. Slovenia in Europe. There's a big DX station. I know he's running a really good rig and antenna. Alright, next thing we're going to do is add in Palomar Engineer's noise filter. See if that gives us anything. Alright, so let's get that off real quick. Wait a minute, get my adapter on. And this thing has cut down certain types of noise. Is excellent, really does good. Doesn't take everything out depending on what it is, but let's see.
Yes, I did. There was a department a couple of days back, but I didn't reply. It shows the comments without coverage.
Let's go back to it. Open frequency. Open filters. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna go back down to CW. Sometimes you could just hear it better or worse depending on what mode you're on. I mean, I still think I can hear something there, but it's certainly not bad. So what I'm gonna do, first I'll shut off the air conditioner, then I'll go cut the generator, and I'm gonna leave the camera running. Let's see if we could tell the difference. So everything's running. This is the sound of me staying cool by the AC. And all right, it's now off. Didn't hear a big difference. Okay, everything is now off. So this is just the noise that's in my neighborhood, which is usually not bad. So let's go back. See if we can get that station again. All right, yet another thing that you can do, and which I may do. The situation that I may use this is either like a contest, and I want to be, well, maybe it's field day or winter field day. I want to be out somewhere. I also could put a dipole up or some other antenna to get it way up there. You know, like I've seen some of my videos that get on 45, 50 feet. Is not that difficult around here. So that may help as well. Could extend the antenna even farther away from the noise source, which would also help. But let's take a look at what we ended up with. So here are all the ferrite beads. I will put a link to the number and all of that. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I do still have the box. And that's just running along the ground to this power strip. Now I was hoping maybe I'll do something a little more permanent. Maybe I can get a little access door and mount this somewhere inside the van and just have a cord to pull out or something like that. But time will tell. We'll see. Thanks for coming along. I hope this was helpful. I'm pretty happy with it. We went from S9 to not much noise at all without spending a ton of money. I don't remember what these cost, but like I said, I'll put the information in the comments, and I think it was only a couple bucks a piece, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I hope to see you on there soon. Take care, 7-3. This is JKQ4DUX. You watched yet another ham radio video.